continuation of the other video about my new expenses. So, my brother had just called when you heard that noise, the music. The music video is about, it's I can tell by your eyes, you've probably been crying forever. And the stars in the sky don't mean nothing to you, they're a mirror. I don't wanna talk about poached eggs. Talk about it, how you broke my heart. Yeah, so continuation of that lady. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs and I'm gonna do the calculations and I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you, I'll bring the money. I have some cash. I always keep some cash with me in my house so that in case, I lose my bank card or something, then I have cash. So that's what I have to do today. I have to figure out when I moved in, how many months I owe, and for the maintenance of the building. And then she was like telling me, oh, you're very, how do you say? I don't remember what she told me. She says to me, you're very, I think what she meant to say was vulnerable. Like, you talk very, I can't remember the word that she said, but I think what she meant was that she thinks I'm able to be vulnerable with people, So that was interesting, What else do I want to talk about? Making my eggs. Yeah, I'm putting some sugar. I know it's weird. I'm putting some sugar in the eggs because I don't have the best appetite, like I'm not a big eater, like I'm the kind of girl that doesn't like to eat. If I could live without eating, that would be amazing. I have to eat for my survival, because I'm human and I need to eat, so I gotta somehow swallow it. Yeah, so that's the story. I have to pay her the money. I have to go to work in a few minutes on the bus. I love, this is Sprite, but it's sugar-free. See, it says 0. So I think it's made of, they put stevia in it. So I can kind of, how I like to eat is I like to drink a drink like this, and then I like to swallow the food down. So I don't need to chew it. But my father always tells me, he says, Nurchik, you need to chew your food. Your teeth, you need to chew your food. Your stomach doesn't have teeth, he tells me. Your stomach doesn't have teeth. You need to chew your food. Yesterday I noticed that my house has all these flies, and I don't know how they got in because my house, I have a screen on the window. I think it's because of my animals, because of the litter and my guinea pigs. I hadn't changed their litter for a long time, so I think it was attracting the flies. So I scrubbed down my house last night, Yeah. My nasty meal. Look, I gotta eat somehow. I gotta force myself to eat, like my father always says, force yourself to relax, if you're a little bit nervous, force yourself to relax. It's it's his dark humor. It's you gotta, right? Even though I'm not religious, my mother told me, say Shema once a day, And my father told me make a bracha on food. Wash your hands negel Wasser in the morning. And always make sure to do those things. So I make a bracha, because either way, you know, if you watch like The Sound of Music or any of these old movies, the Christian people, they say grace before meals. We say grace, they think a higher power, and I think it's like, it's kind of like it shows humility, you know, to believe that your food comes from somewhere and there's a higher power, you know. And I don't keep anything, I like to try to keep those few things. Yeah, so yeah. So that's a story about that. And yeah, so last night I have these flies in my house. So last night the cats were, sorry, I'm clumsy. The cats were trying to catch the flies, and they actually managed, because I see a few dead flies on the floor. The cats were like were jumping and trying to catch the flies, and then the flies would fly, and then they would run after them, and it was like a whole exercise for them, you know. Kept them busy. Like I said to myself, like, ugh, I don't want to have all these buzzing flies in my house. It's so annoying. But then, you know, there's always like a flip side to it. You know, like you could be like, oh, you could see the good and the bad. You know, oh, I don't want these buzzers in my house. The good side of it was that it kept my cats entertained. So it gave them an activity. You know, I'm thinking to bring more flies in. Now I'm thinking like, maybe I could get a gecko. You know, it's like one of those lizards as a pet, and then I can have all these flies come in my house, and my cat kill them and then feed it to the gecko. Because one of the things that I'm so scared of are flies and bugs. Nasty. Can't stand this food. Okay, that's it for now.